So we may take 5 questions, please. The floor is yours. I will make my questions. I will give my questions. Sorry, later, please. If you have any remarks or questions. So if not, I will start to warm up the discussion. First of all, I would like to ask Anna Maria Bena, because the presentation was a few moments ago. You said at the beginning of your presentation that McCombs and Shaw would say, yeah. What is your point? Are you trying to convince us that the media talked about that subject, and now we are very interested in your story and in your presentation? We have to be very interested because media.
It's like television. Yes, I told you about this subject, and now we are talking about the television talk about something, and they don't make us talk on the subject, but about what's important for them, their point of view.
Yeah, but you knew that, we knew that, and you, I suppose, had prepared another research before that, and you were trapped. You were trapped in the same in this theory, because you decided to give us a presentation being influenced by what was going on media in the last 3 or 4 days. So
yes,
you
because
yourself
there are
are
changes. Because there are a lot of changes because of that. And what was at the beginning in 29, as I told you, it was there were a lot of subjects, but not so important in our life. Like the Elena Udria's future. Will she or not, will she go again in the prison? But now, if we don't have anymore a government, we don't have, in fact we have an interim prime minister. The protesters want to change the system, they say. They don't have to change the government, but they want to change the system. That's why we changed, because we thought this is more important as subject for our life, more than simple subject from.
So your statement is that the tragic accident that happened Friday night became important for us because it was on TV?
No, not only, but if it weren't on TV, how could we found about online? Yes, but not all of us. Okay, we are online, but not all the people are online. In Romania, there are 30% using the online.
No. They have access on internet more than 51%, 55 now. They do have access on internet today in
50?
Yeah, 55.
55.
They are using actually, or they just have.
They have access. They have access. I don't know if they do and in what measure they do use internet, but they do have access on internet. Okay, so if there are any other solutions, please.
I have a question actually to you. Did you ask your teachers about age, and
their age?
Yes, their age.
We know their age because they are our colleagues.
Did the age really influence the way they answer or not?
May you answer this?
Yes.
The youngest or the oldest?
I will give an example. It was interesting that at the survey, one teacher, 60 years I think, yes, answered at
our survey was not important.
Yes, he didn't see the sense of our research.
Okay.
I mean, why do we want this kind of information?
I mean, because
It's not important. It's not relevant.
Yes, online
So,
communication is not important.
yeah.
He took the time and the effort.
Yeah.
Yes.
answer.
Yeah.
Yes. And also he even was active in social media. He has Facebook but no posts.
And I remember that he also did not accept your friendship
Yes,
requests
Can no
on Facebook.
posts.
Yeah, has no post. Yeah, because he's a he.
He.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I have one question for you because you use this term bazaar. And there is this book, maybe you all know about it. It is called Republic.com 2.0 from Carl Sunstein, teacher from US, and he's using when he's describing the situation not only here in the Central and Eastern Europe but also in US. When he's speaking about fragmentation and isolation, he's using cyber balkanization. Do you think that they are the same thing, cyber balkanization and bazaar?
Not really, because the term bazaar, to be honest, I only use it during the presentation, not actually in the paper. The bazaar is a kind of an alternative to the agora, so the place when people have a basic knowledge about what they are discussing. They are willing to give some kind of arguments in support of their positions, and they are open-minded, by which I mean that they are willing, that they are not excluding the possibility that they may change actually their mind in front of the new ideas, new proposals that are posted, that are provided by other interlocutors. While bazaar, for me, is a play when we can talk about many different things, but are we really talking? Are we just not expressing our arbitrary opinions without waiting what our people have to say about our issues and about this fragmentation of the. I think that actually I'm using here the term of digital public sphere, but it should be digital public spheres, because it's obviously that there are thousands of public spheres that are overlapping.
Each online group is
yes.
some kind of
One of the biggest problem I think in the internet with a public sphere is that people tend to visit web pages or different kind of online discussion platforms that are strongly associated with their own opinions. So actually the problem is how often people in the internet has a chance to confront their ideas, because if we go into the places, digital places, that we can find opinions that are very similar to our opinions, so it reduces the chance for some kind of interactive dialogue during which different ideas, proposals are confronted.
Thank you.
And I have a question to you, because you are comparing the data from your survey with the data from American survey. What kind of teachers were taken into consideration during American survey? General population of teachers?
Yeah.
So I think that we cannot compare these results, at least to some extension, because your faculty, I think, is quite unique. Because this is a faculty of journalism and social communication, so we can assume
Communication studies.
communication studies, yes, yeah. So we can assume that if we take another faculty, probably the percentage of teachers that will be using social media platforms will be much lower. Yes, so probably still in US, in a general population of teachers, much more people are using social media than a general population of teachers in Romania. I can only speculate on a Polish perspective.
So, thank you.
If I can add something, because right now we are also introducing in my university in Łódź e-learning, and it's not very popular. Only young people sign up for the course, young teachers, and this is this is a kind of necessity because we will use e-learning only for weekend students because groups are very small and it's easier for them and cheaper for them not to come to the university but just use the platform, yes. But my colleagues, older colleagues are not willing.
We also are working on some kind of solution to make older teachers to come and visit and use this type of platforms. We are trying to add there a lot of online books, online articles, videos, scientific articles and so on, in order to make them enter and use this type of platforms because otherwise they don't use it and they don't care about e-platforms, unfortunately. So the students are complaining about the fact that they cannot communicate, in fact, with teachers on these platforms. So this is the reason why, one of the most important reason why they would rather use Facebook in order to transmit some messages to their own teachers. You know, they would rather make a post on their personal blog or on their personal account on Facebook in order to make teacher give a feedback. Because otherwise, if they are doing, because these kind of e-learning platforms are closed platforms, they are not open. So the discussions there are like secret discussions. So a lot of teachers do not use them at all, and so they in fact they don't communicate with students. So we can, if there are any other remarks or please.
Very short remark. I think that is also one more problem with using Facebook, two problems with using Facebook in a communication between teachers and students. I believe one thing is that for the students, from my own experience, using Facebook is quite difficult to refer to what kind of communication are we talking about, whether it's still public communication or private one, which language should be used on this social platform. Because if we are writing email, there are particular structures of language that can be applied, and we are teaching students how they should refer to the professor and so on and so on. And they don't know how to communicate with teachers using social communication platforms. And the second issue, I think that there's a small problem with promoting Facebook as an open platform for communication between teachers and students, because we should remember that it's not a really open platform. It has owner, and it's a commercial.
From this perspective,
yes, it's a commercial web page, and in Poland there were some voices that
e-learning platforms are for free. Moodle is for free.
Yeah, and there were some voices in Poland that asking whether public institutions like public television, like public universities, libraries and so on, should actually promote private social communication, social media platforms. And for example, if you want to ask your question to your teacher using Facebook, because for example at the university it will be main communication platform, maybe in the future, you have to register. You have to accept the policy of Facebook. And I believe that a public institution like a university should not force actually its students to accept this policy as promoting the main channel of the communication with
they are
teachers.
doing it anyway. I mean, you may advise them, but they would do that anyhow. Yeah, thank you for your observation. So we may call it the night. We can say that for this session, but of course